Okay, everybody, welcome to Tip Tuesday. I am going to show you a couple things that I can do with Microsoft Excel and macros. Under the File menu, Options in Excel, under Customize ribbon on the left, you have the ability to turn off and on the Developer menu. And the Developer menu, which sits over here to the right, allows you to record and play back macros within Excel. So for instance, if I'm using Excel and I have a number of cells with data in them, this can be numeric data, it can be mixed data, it can be whatever I want. But I have something that I want to change the font size, color, or the font itself. I can do this through recording a macro. So here I have an example of finding a cell in my spreadsheet. So it looks for a cell where comic is part of the text. And then it goes ahead and selects that, changing the font to comic, changing the size, and changing the color. So let's see what that looks like when I run it. Run the macro. It found the cell that had Comic Sans in it. It changed the size, the color, and the font. If I take something like this and add the word comic to it, and we run that macro again, let's see if it'll find this or not. There it goes. It found the cell. Because the word comic was somewhere in it, it changed the font. On the Home tab, you can see Comic Sans is used. It changed it to 16 point. And it changed the color from the blue that I was using to red, which I recorded in the macro. So pretty straightforward. I go to the Developer tab, I record the macro, and the recording of the macro can be however you choose. I've tested a couple different ways to get this result. I can hit Control F, which brings up the find, or I can use the ribbon menus. So I could search for something else like 102. Once I find that, I could say I want to, under the ribbon, change maybe to a different font like Arial. Maybe I want to make this much smaller and I want to make it blue. And then when I come back to the Developer tab, I can stop recording the macro. I can go in and view the macro and even step through the macro, edit the macro. If I go back up here and now run that macro, it finds the next instance of 102, changing the font to Arial Black, changing the size to 8, and changing the color to blue. If I wanted to add bold, I could either edit the macro or re-record the macro. And you can have multiple macros within a workbook. I have a coworker that is going to join me. I'm just going to confirm she's okay with it. Hey, Genesis. Are you okay being on YouTube?
Yes, I just hopping. I'm so sorry for the calls. Give me 1 second because that is.
No, you're fine.
that is giving it back to little Hugo. Let me see what's going on.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
Give me 1 second. Come on, Hugo. What's going on? What happened to Daddy? Okay. Be nice. So sorry. There's a cows here. I was on my team's call like until 5:30. We usually end at 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was able to open when you sent me over the. How are you doing today, Dan? Oh my God.
Good. Good.
I'm in this train of doing a lot of things, learning a lot of things, managing, keeping my home in peace.
Yes. Yes.
Jeez. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. So I was taking a look at the developer tools. I never knew that, and it was all this time there, which is crazy. So I see that you have. Okay, I'm opening mine as well.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna close out some of the things.
I've recorded this a couple times, but I didn't get the audio correct. I think I've corrected that. So this should be going out live.
Do you want me to verify? Like, open the...
Yeah, if you don't mind opening the YouTube and making sure you can hear us. That would be helpful. I've recorded it 3 times already.
Okay, so I see Tip Tuesday Live Tag 3. I see my face there.
Okay. And can you hear audio?
Oh, cool. I see it.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
So it apparently is working. And I switched it to a different account that I have about 100 followers on already. So hopefully that will mean people will join eventually once they figure out that I'm going live occasionally. I'll bring it up on my phone too and just see if it...
Okay.
I can hear it. Good. So what
I can hear here as well. If I play it, I will have, since I'm on the call here as well.
Right.
It will interfere a little bit.
Yeah, I believe so. I wasn't sure if the audio was captured, and it looks like it is.
Yeah, definitely it is there. Yeah, because good. I can hear it.
So I don't know if you ran into the same issue I had. The sheet 2, if you look at wherever Comic Sans shows up, it's actually a reference to sheet 1, not the actual words Comic Sans.
Okay, let me open the version. So what I did was, since I noticed there were like a formula there, I edited the version that you sent me over, the English version, and I translated in Spanish, but I translate the translation I input in the cells, not in the actual bingo, Yeah. So, and then when I try to change the letter, I did the macro, but it's not opening for me. And since I'm not familiar with the code and the developer tools, then that's the opportunity for me right there.
Okay. So what I needed to do, and I think it saved this, I had to change my document save type to an Excel macro enabled workbook.
Macro enabled workbook. I mean, I'm trying to open the... Why is it not showing?
But I can send you my file too after this if you want to play around with it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm actually opening right now the... Yeah, if you want, send me the one that you're working on, because I'm not sure if I have the same one.
Sure.
I have the PowerPoint bingo, and it's showing me viewing now. So I
Right. I think this is a local copy that I was playing around with.
Okay, so if you want to send over the one that we're gonna be working on.
Yeah. Let me save it to my OneDrive.
Okay.
With Genesis. And then I'll send you a link.
Yeah, in the video that I watched, it was so easy. He was like, he clicked on the macro, and then on the macros formula, and then it was super easy, like just change font, and that's it. But it didn't work for me. Let's see.
Yeah, the reason it wasn't working for me, I can show you this real quick. Because this isn't the Word comic. When I ran the find a cell macro, it ends up with an error in Visual Basic. And when I go into debug,
Okay.
let me make sure I'm sharing this through Teams, because it's a different window now. So when I go into debug the code, it tells me that it didn't find a cell with the word comic in it. And the reason it didn't find the word comic
is because it says
it's a reference. It's a reference, not the actual text. So what I needed to do to get that working was I copied the cell and I chose paste value instead of just a regular paste. Then the cell actually contains the word comic as well as comico.
Okay. So then your screen is showing black on my end.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I cannot see it.
Hold on.
Although I'm looking at my Excel for the option. Okay.
So wherever comic is within the cell ranges, you see how all these others have sheet references?
You know, the file that you sent me over is opening in English for me.
Is it?
And I see it's in Spanish on your end. So let me reopen again the file.
It's a Spanish with Genesis? PowerPoint bingo?
I'm gonna reopen it again. Let's see.
Okay.
There it is.
Cool. Awesome.
It's opening the web version, but I think I can see you now.
Yeah.
Can you see me in the actual?
Yep, I can see you're in the work.
Okay, there it is. I was like, okay, we're in two different places. All right, let me see. Let's see.
So what I can do is go to a cell like A5, which now has Comic Sans, Comico Sans. And if I run the macro there, it's going to fail again because the macro is looking for the word comic, not the cell reference. So what I had to do to get that working was I had to copy and then just paste special value.
Paste special value.
And then once it's values in the cells, then the macro should work.
Special. I'm writing it down.
And if I did the paste special values for the whole spreadsheet, I think that might be the easiest way to do it, because I don't know, because it moves the Comic Sans cell around. I think if we just tell the macro to convert all of the cells from cell references to values, that might be the easiest way to write the macro. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay.
Because that way the code will be more cleaner.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then what I've had to do to get this working in the past was save the graphic. So highlight it and save it as like a picture file, and then open the file again, which moves the Comic Sans to a random location, moves everything to random locations, and then take another screenshot of it.
Okay, I cannot see your screen now.
Oh,
if
sorry.
I play the video, I will be able to see it.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, the live video. If anything, the live video will be there always? Okay, cool.
Yeah, the live video will stay. And so I enable content, and now that I've ran it twice, this third time there should be another comic. Here it is in D2. Cell D2 is comic. So if I go over to the developer tab again, run the macro, it'll fail this time.
I saw a little tool that we can see the code. I don't know if we can actually work with the code.
You can, yeah. You can work with the code too. It's not failing because it found the other two Comic Sans values. So if I delete these.
Cool. I'm in.
I don't know if you can see the Visual Basic error, but you'll be able to see it in the video. So that's the tip for today. Thank you for the help with the Spanish. I would have never been able to do that translation.
I was a big help translating, but not a big help with the coding.
No.
Although I have done only block codes in my summer camps, but I'm definitely gonna play around with it, and it makes sense to, like, next time I do it, I would just start like a new template, and I will try to run the code using the macros, like a clean version, you know?
Yeah, you got it.
I think that'd be helpful.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna just do it to see how it works. I'm super happy that it's now working. Also, do you need to have like a larger bank for the options on the bingo, or this will be?
Yeah. So for the questions on bingo, if you have other thoughts, I haven't figured out a way to add more than the 25, but we could change any of these. So if you think of other things that might be, I've seen some other people have suggestions on, like animal comes into the video, or, just different things that happen during PowerPoints or during Teams meetings. And I'd love to have just those options put in, as we think of them, or as we hear suggestions from people. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. Thank you, Dan.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you hanging out a little bit, and